To know tomorrow's events today might seem to answer men's dreams. But what if the future were horrific beyond our worst nightmares? Who would listen? Who would want to know? Tonight's entertainment is set at about 1980 on the old calendar. Research into the period indicates a peculiar predominance of occult or horror movies, stories of black magic. Fragments of film found indicate that the intention was to thrill, shock, and horrify. I shall make use of some of these devices to tell the story of a woman who believes that the life of her child is under threat from supernatural forces. Mothers-to-be may find my story disturbing. Let me give assurance that we do not wish any harm to what is both the subject and the title of our play.
There! There. There.
There's nothing.
I thought I saw something.
Toby. You're cold.
Terrified me. There's nothing now.
Oh, before.
Ghost.
Let's Bank. Or next door to Morecambe, not Warminster.
It's hard to spot anyone around here experiencing life before death, never mind after.
Don't you spit on my home ground just because it's quietly refined.
I'm sure I saw something.
I think that you are just overtired from your recent exertions.
And an excess of alcohol. No, that's not it. Weekend's gone. Memory. 5 days of grappling with the forces of the mighty atom yet to come. Ooh.
I'm happy here. So are you, really.
I'm happy in here.
I'm ovulating at the moment. Did you know that?
Only now that you tell me.
I don't know why my body makes such empty promises.
Die.
Anyway, we don't have room for a kid in our lives. We've got too much to do. Too busy.
Who says we'd have no room for a kid?
Well, it wouldn't break your heart if I never conceived. Would it?
Oh. I'd like you to be happy. Have what you want. Mathematically, we could conceive. By me, I mean.
Yeah. It's just I loathe the prospect of becoming a barren old hag. Lancaster is not the place to be stoical about seed on stony ground. Fecundity is not the word round here. If you're female and half presentable, you're married and pregnant by the time you're 17. If not, you're either on the shelf or on the turn.
Well, you're not on the shelf. I just don't know about the other.
I'm just letting you know what lies ahead for me.
How can you look into the future when the only certainty is a lack of certainty?
I'd really like a baby. I'd be good at it. I mean, not just from working at the clinic and all that, but I've got a lot of love unused. Going to waste. Having a kid would be a bore. I could yell and howl and scream till they'd have to pump me full of pethidine just to shut me up.
What about experiencing the moment of birth? I thought that was supposed to be a joy divine.
No, I've seen that too many times for real. I'd like it to happen like in an old film, you know. You mysteriously faint, find out you're expecting a happy event. Quick shot, looking radiant and delicately returned, and then it's ecstasy on a soup pillow with a nurse giving you a glimpse of Junior before you sigh contentedly and fall asleep. There'll be no pain or blood bearing down, none of that, just rose pink sentiment and a little Henry Mancini music to underscore the scene. Well, don't worry, it'll never happen.
Well.
Go to sleep. Don't worry about babies. Or bogeyman.
Hypnagogic phenomenon.
What?
That's it. Gogic. You know the sensation of falling you sometimes get when first asleep? Well, sometimes hallucinations can happen instead. That's what happened. I dropped momentarily asleep, saw whatever it was I saw in a dream, and woke up with a myoclonic jerk. No. Thought I'd seen a spectre. That's it. It's good. I could sleep now. As long as everything is as it should be. I can't stand a mystery. It has no place. Not in Hurst Bank.
Colin!
What?
Have you just been in here?
Does it matter?
Right.
Yes. Perfectly. You?
Perfectly.
Good. Nothing amiss?
Quite the reverse.
Oh? The Path Lab ran your test. And?
It's positive.
Take long?
No. Just seemed like it.
Any chance of error?
Well, there's 1 in 100, if that's any hope for you to cling to.
Hmm? Oh, what's the matter?
You! Oh, Colin, you're supposed to say, oh, goody, I'm going to be a daddy. Or something.
Well, it's just that, I mean, after so much time, Di, I wondered if it mightn't be a false pregnancy, that's all. Women like you do sometimes have all the symptoms. And...
Not this lady. This kiddie wink is for real. It is 41 days old.
That's marvellous news. I know I must sound... I'm sorry. Radiation leak in a primary coolant system. We had to switch over to backup, and that's a bit worrying because that makes the 3rd incident this year. Anyhow, that's work.
Yeah. Yeah. It was just I thought you'd be like me. Overjoyed. You were reacting like news of death rather than news of birth. You bastard. How could you? You've known all I've ever wanted was to have your child.
That's it. My child. It is mine.
Are you implying it might not be yours?
No, no. Oh, no.
Oh, bloody yes.
No. The baby is ours. I am its father.
Wonder when it'll start to show.
Di, you don't understand. You don't understand what I'm feeling.
I
you
understand
don't understand
perfectly.
why.
You don't want this baby. You don't want me at home. I just wish you'd say what you think for once.
All right. I've had a nightmare for a long time. It's not based on any evidence, but in my job, with my length of service, in all sorts of conditions, I can't help but worry, can I?
About what? What are you worried about?
About nothing. I'm sure, genetically speaking, there's no damage. No exposure that I know of could have brought about mutation or...
Mutation? Do you mean malformation? Have you been exposed to radiation ever and not told me?
No. But it's lodged in my mind that I might have been without realizing. One particle. That's all it would need. One. Listen to me. Listen to me! I'm certain that my reaction is to evaluate the possibility. You know what sort of a mind I've got?
No. And I don't think I ever will, not after this.
I love you. I do. I want us to have a healthy child. I couldn't stand to see you disappointed.
Well, by having a malformed mutant child, yes, I would be a trifle disappointed. Thanks for putting that thought into my head. It's a wonderful thought to carry along with a fetus. Thanks, a great big smelly heap.
It wouldn't come to that. If there's a problem, and God forbid it should happen, most gene mutations or chromosome breakages result in, to be brutal, fetal deaths, or the womb itself knows best and rejects the...
Oh, Jesus, just shut up about it. What was that question? That trick question. If you had fathered 5 or 6 stillborn, or mentally retarded and physically handicapped children, and your wife wanted to conceive one more time, what would you say?
What's it got to do with this?
Everything. Now just answer the question. Would you risk another pregnancy, another deformity, mutant? Call it what you will. Would you, Colin?
No. Probably I would say no.
Well, congratulations. You have just said no to the birth of Beethoven.
Don't look at me like that. Oh, son became
Sorry. Who are you?
Roma. Today you had good news about your baby, yes?
Yes. How did you know?
I can tell you what sex your baby is. I can tell you what protection must be provided for the entrance of such a soul onto this present plane. What the life of the child will be. What gifts will be handed on by you. All these I can interpret under your star and that of the unborn. Let me predict your future. Let me try and find the name and numbers that will best protect your child from harm.
Oh, I see. You're a fortune teller.
I'm descended from the great seer, Cagliostro. The gift of prophecy that once was his is now, in part, mine. You can employ it for a trifling gift.
Oh, I see. Of money, of course.
If you wish.
Pieces of silver do.
God placed signs and marks on the hands of men and women so that they may know their works. You have a long line of destiny. Beware of loyalty given from the heart, threatened by interference to the head. Lifeline long and strong. One child, a boy. A boy born to the sign of fire. A boy strong, with much will. So much for the left hand, that fate with which you yourself were born. And now for the right, which shows what you have made and what destiny you will acquire.
What is it? What do you see?
I see nothing that you need know.
You must tell me.
Diana, do not seek to know more.
Did she flog you some lucky white heather and a gross of clothes peg? Hmm? This pregnancy has softened your brain.
Thank you.
Gypsy fortune tellers. Claptrap, all of it. Complete and utter claptrap.
She didn't even say anything. She just rushed out of the house.
Who was she?
Roma, she said.
Madam Roma, no doubt. Probably keeps a booth on the seafront. The one and only Madame Roma. Palms red, gullible women conned. I really thought you had more sense.
I was elated. After seeing the scan, I thought, gotta be a bit of fun.
Fun?
Oh, give me some credit, Colin. Okay, it was a daft impulse. I should have shooed her out of the door. But if she really was bogus, why didn't she give me the usual spiel about long life, fortunate with money, all that stuff?
Because she gets off on frightening pregnant women. A really good day for her ends in somebody miscarrying.
Why?
I don't know. Probably can't have kids. Hangs around the antenatal clinics. I don't know why she has to prey on pregnant women, but she evidently does just that. Scan was clear, you said?
Yeah.
Good. What's happened to that figure, jade figure?
Nothing.
You didn't leave the Queen of the Gypsies on her own in here by any chance, did you?
No. Yeah. Just for a moment.
Long enough.
Hi, Sally. See if Madeleine's receiving.
She might be finishing off her supper, you mean?
Communing with Foster Universe, more like.
What's your name?
Faustina. Meanstead, okay.
Are you?
Can't complain. See, folks anxious to communicate with Madeline often slip me 10 pence or so.
All right then, Faustina. Get your old lady into action, will you?
Good evening, Mr. Brent.
What do you do? You hang around antenatal clinics and then follow pregnant women home and then con them out of their housekeeping money.
I have the gift of clairvoyance. I give to those grateful to employ my talents.
Talents? Your talents are wasted, truly wasted. You're a petty thief with enough gall and effrontery to sell oil to the Arabs.
My effrontery is no different from yours. You, a nuclear scientist, struggling to control forces you do not truly understand.
What?
We are two of a kind. Neither of us knows the true source of power, but each of us acts as if we are chosen and elect. To the curious and to a world desperate for energy, we try to provide answers.
No. I provide energy, not answers. The whole support of modern life depends upon my work, my insight, my knowledge. In a word, science, not this pseudo-magic.
We are root and branch of the same tree.
Rubbish.
Oh, but yes. Science is but a descendant of magic, alchemy. Bruno, Giordano Bruno, what was he? An occultist, magician and scientist who discovered your precious atomic base of matter near to 400 years ago.
You're well versed.
In truth, I try to be.
Then, in truth, admit that you stole property from my home.
When I returned from my encounter with your wife, I wept for her. And for the path to conflagration that lies before us all. Because of your son.
Son? What are you talking about? Can you be precise, specific, please?
It would be better for all who are of this world if your son were never born. I saw an image of fire as I held your wife's hand. I saw war, blood, red hail on the plains of Palestine, just as predicted by Nostradamus. Armageddon.
If you're frightened of the future, of nuclear power, there's no need. We have control.
At Harrisburg, Hanford.
Well, that was contained.
At Kishtim, in the Ural Mountains, where thousands died and hundreds of miles remain contaminated.
Russians, Americans use different systems to British.
Windscale, October 1957. Release of radioiodine over an extensive area.
Well, things are different now. Safer. Anyhow, a nuclear power plant at worst could never trigger off the kind of explosion that you envisioned.
What I saw was war. Nuclear war. I saw this. I saw your son as the unholy begetter of it all. Kill him in the womb, Mr. Brent. Find a way. Find a way to prevent his birth. Prophecy is not immutable. Events can be changed by will and action. Take it, Mr. Brent. This child must not be born.
I'll have you charged with obscenity, with theft. I'll do everything I can to publicize your diabolical trade. If evil existed, it would be you. If filth existed, it would be in the shape of you.
We tried.
Stupid man.
You hungry?
Bit.
I'll get something.
No, go stupid.
2 fish chips and peas.
Isn't time to line a bed up?
Why not? Money's in my purse.
I'll play it swell, won't you, Mum?
I will.
No. Oh. No. No.
It's my guess that the joint presidents will ask for an armed standby of warheads. Prepare for this now. I also require a casualty projection for a limited strike against the Russian position on the plains of Palestine. Military, civilian, property damage, extended contamination risk. Flash that up in due course, will you? And prepare for an interesting shift.
No.
Oh!
What?
It's just a kick. I think he's playing football in there.
Perhaps she objects to her mother's sentimental assumptions as to sex. Hey! We're in the paper. It's a report about Roma, about the case.
May I see?
Just detail. Magistrate's court, £20 fine, bound over. She must have put a binding spell on the bench. Di, will you trust me? Some of these predictions are pretty bizarre.
What predictions? What did she say to you? Blood and red hair on the plains of Palestine. Did she say that to you?
Something like that.
Caused by what's in here?
Don't brood. It's only malice at me taking her to court for nicking that figure.
I'd like to see her again.
No.
Well, it's not every woman is told she's carrying the death of the future, you know. A little outside the experience of your average midwife. I mean, somebody's darling someday will no doubt succeed in devastating the planet. To go down in history as the culprit's mum doesn't bug me too much because there's not going to be anybody around to record it, except perhaps the Lancaster Guardian. Local man responsible for nuclear holocaust. Would it fit well between news of a curtailed flower show and a cancelled pensioners outing to Garstang owing to radioactive contamination at Nicky Nook?
Are you all right? Or is it just jokes?
I'm a big girl. See? Big. You should level with me more. The less I'm told, the more I want to know, and the more questions I need to ask. But far from trivial inquiry as to whether you really want this baby at all.
Of course I do. Anyway.
You've changed towards me. Your jokes, weak or otherwise, no longer come. You're locked within an inner world. In the night you moan and call out in your sleep, and it's not just one night, but many. Is there something wrong at work?
Not really. I'm responsible for the safety of a heap of nuclear plant. It gets to me sometimes, that's all.
You still going to London tomorrow?
Do you want me to stay?
No. Still a few weeks to go before I'll need you for that midnight dash down to the maternity unit.
I'll be there. You just promised me you'll place these daft predictions way out your mind, huh?
I wonder a little why we pay them so much attention. I'm talking about you and me as well as the child. You don't come near me, you don't hold me, you don't touch me, not anymore. I think there's a bit of truth in Romer's words of warning. Already I think the little beast has destroyed what we had between us.
Don't. Hey, don't. I want you. I want to get back to normality, to be at peace again.
It's not the easiest time to be alive. Hey.
It's alive.
Of course it is.
Oh, I just wasn't expecting such a strong reaction. Fusion -3 encounter.
A limited strike against the Russian position on the plains of Palestine.
I'll do everything I can to publicize your diabolical trade.
Listen to me. Son, don't look at me like that.
And we anticipate casualty rates of 3,400 people killed, military and civilian, 43,000 people injured, approximately €10 billion damage to property. People could be killed up to a radius of 15 miles from a limited strike and injured up to some 45 miles. Land contamination, 150,000 square miles. Weather, favorable to launch. Well, it's your decision, my Lord President. My estimate is that a contained nuclear strike is essential to maintain our advantage in this zone. I await your orders. Go to red alert, first stage rocket, stand by, intercontinental preemptive strike plan 01. Launch -3 minutes.
Did you see? Commander, Chief, manipulating the computers. Orders, so that once the process starts, there's only escalation toward ultimate destruction. Armageddon.
Oh, God.
Armageddon.
What is it? What is it? Is it a radiation leak of a nuclear power plant? What?
No. No, it's a big war game. Our boy in the box seat pulling all the red levers. Oh, Jesus.
Colin, it's just a dream. It's a nightmare. It's not real.
But I saw her grinning at me from the foot of the bed as if to say, look, Dad, what a clever boy I've turned out to be.
Colin, you've always said you cannot believe anything except what you can see and prove.
I know. I saw him.
Well, I didn't see anything.
Am I cracking up? I can't provide proof of what I dream. People with my responsibilities do crack up. Talk to the doctor when I get back.
Come on. Shh.
I'll probably be retired. Casualty of the age, burnt out. Voluntary mental patient, waving at cars, sticking cigarette packets on the railings.
Sleep.
It's the main industry in this town. I'll still be doing my bit to maintain employment. I'll still be useful.
It's just a dream, Colin. It's a nightmare, that's all. No more dreams. No more dreams. I've got a train to catch in 3 hours. In the morning, everything will be back in focus again. Yeah. I'll figure out what's best to be done. What's the best thing to do about it all. All right. Sleep. Good boy.
And the pain started after you received this.
What is it? What does it mean?
It's the heart of a sheep pierced with thorns. It's death wishing. Against you. With some effect.
But who?
I warned your husband not to proceed with this silly revenge at law. Now the news of the child you are carrying is abroad. Someone with some knowledge of demonology thinks it better that your child remain unborn.
By killing me?
And hence the child. It's all psychological, of course, autosuggestion. Interesting that you should be a receptive subject. Your husband would no doubt have put the heart in a pan with some freshly picked mushrooms and had an enjoyable breakfast.
Roma, please, can you help? Can you ease?
Close your eyes. Try and relax. Metachum, Lek, Baroth, Noth, Venibeth, Mac, and all of ye, I conjure out of this heart made by the living one, all harm, all harm, all harm. So mote it be. Diana, you must take that heart, find a box of pine, and bury it in a secret place that no one knows but you. Drink. It's a magical potion made from malt and spring water. It's Scotch whiskey, the best. Drink it.
It's like one of Colin's dreams. Are you a witch?
A white witch. What dreams does your husband have?
Recurring images of nuclear warfare. They disturb him, terrify him.
Does he always say the same perpetrator, the same instigator?
don't know. He saw a man in our room once, a man in a uniform.
You didn't see him? I sense perhaps your husband might be gifted.
With what?
Premonition. Not that he'd admit it. Still, it confirms my sight of your child's future.
What you said, your predictions about my baby, I can't believe they can be true.
Predictions can never be proved until they happen. An American seeress, Jean Dixon, first foresaw that Kennedy would be assassinated. Her premonition grew in detail, even to the name of the assassin. All predictions ignored.
What did you say to my husband?
I recommended that the child should not be born. Have the fetus terminated, suffer one death to avoid millions. Perhaps I'm wrong.
I don't believe I'm carrying anything malignant. And yet you say he's the Antichrist or some such.
He's not the Antichrist. He was born in 1920. Somehow we have to survive until 1999 when the forces of the universe align to perfection.
Why 1999?
999 is reversal of the devil's number, 666. Read Ezekiel chapter 38 and pray. I feel as if some evil force were near. This is the strongest protection I can give. Stab the dagger into wood. It must always remain upright to form its cross of power. I'll summon what energy I can. Perhaps you can help. Tonight I have a séance, merely messages of reassurance. Perhaps we should place your psyche and that of the unborns into the circle and see what happens. Yes? 7:30. Be careful until then.
Yeah? Colin. No, I'm fine, really. I'm just going to have my rest. No, just a bit of heartburn. I was gardening. Love you too. Metetran Melekei Garoth.
Not a word about this.
What?
We've just been honored by a visit from an archdevil, an Ipsissimus.
Who's he when he's at home?
Stick the purifier in. Good. Now get the plutonium activated. Move. Move. That's fine. Jesus. Jerry. Glowing like a metal man. Run. Run. Heat. Heat. Oh my God. Oh my God.
How could you allow such things? Those of us who died are beyond the physical pain. What of the lingering? The children of Nagasaki and Hiroshima. The dangers ignored. The final blast of Armageddon. The birth now of monsters with 2 heads. Children with 2 heads. Some dwarf, some giant, some albino. All to live but a few tortured years. Listen, Diana. Long as you can. I died of radiation death. The slow way. Through the marrow of the bones, failing to make blood. Donors gave me life for a time. Long enough to see the way of the world left by your kind. I was glad when the cancer came.
What happened?
Just voices.
What of?
Dead people.
How did they die?
Atomic bomb sounds like.
Did they say who might be responsible?
Yeah.
I'm so... There's tea and cake outside. Faustina?
Thy flesh have I given thee, thy bones have I kept for thee, thy members have I collected. Thou art set in order, thou seest thy gods, thou sittest out on thy way. Thine hand reaches beyond the horizon into the holy place where thou wouldst be.
I died of radiation death. The slow way. Through the marrow of the bones, failing to make blood. Donors gave me life for a time. Long enough to see the way of the world left by your kind. I was...
Mrs. Brent, can I help you? I called on the chance that I might be of help. I read that ghastly item in the paper about you and that woman. If I can be of spiritual help to you at this time, do please call upon me.
I feel strange. Lost. I don't know what or who to believe.
Your husband?
He's in London. He'll be back tonight.
Have you seen Madame Roma again?
How did you know?
I guess. She's disturbed people's sanity before.
You know her?
Oh, yes. Yes, indeed. We've crossed swords. I wonder if it might help your view of things to know that she is obsessed with the idea of nuclear disaster. Roma opposes progressive work for the benefit of mankind. She and her sort always oppose. You may not know, but there is a movement to denigrate the use of the peaceful atom, a movement in which she plays a leading part.
Political?
Undoubtedly.
No idea. Security. My husband's a nuclear physicist.
Quite so. People like your husband, valuable members of society, on whom so much depends for the nation's future. Chaps like him are increasingly at risk. I suspect that you have been a victim of a particularly nasty exercise of propaganda. Their ambition was, perhaps, to disillusion your husband in his work by the loss of his child. If you had lost it, that is.
I had no idea. You're like a light. A beacon. You've no idea what I was going to do. What I was manipulated into believing.
Perhaps you should rest now.
That would be nice. I'm supposed to rest. That'd be nice. Clear my mind of everything. That'd be nice.
I'll find my own way out. Soon it will be time for your son to be born. Love and cherish him, for he is as no other. You will know the right name. The name of your son must be Vincent. In him I will be well pleased. Soon the time of birth will come. You will forget me. You will forget Madame Roma. You will live your life. Goodbye. An ambulance, yes. Straight away. Pains every 20 minutes. Yes, it is important.
I'm sorry. I did. How did you escape? You'd be better bound up inside an oak than at the whim of the health service.
And you, my dear, given your thespian talents, would be better engaged at the end of a pier.
Did you escape from the mental home? Is your guise still that of the Horn God?
Guise? This is my guise. As for sanity, I think the world madder than I.
Why have you come here?
It's time.
You cannot harm me.
Your power is less than a baby's. I will be denied no longer. The child will be born.
It will never be born.
Already it moves towards the light. You lose, madam. You lose.
Di? Why?
You want to know what it is?
Yes, of course.
It's a boy.
Well, you always said it would be.
I want to call him Vincent.
Vincent? Whatever the lady wants.
Vincent.
Where's
It's all right, it's all right. We just look after him while I sleep.
Oh,
You happy?
I feel like we've come through. Whole new world for him. You, me. All of us.
I hope so.
Mummy's gone. Just admiring a new arrival into this world of ours.
My son.
Congratulations. Have you decided on a name?
Vincent.
That is the name.
Sorry?
A fine name. Will you be having the child baptized?
No, I don't subscribe to any religion, no offense.
No. It's harmless.